So something's going on in AOC's district. We covered this too on the show as well, where AOC was talking about some of her voters and how they voted on election night. Her constituents voted for her, and she got reelected into office. But for president, they didn't vote for Kamala. They voted for Trump. Goodness gracious, Cretaceous, what's happening in AOC's district in the great city of New York City? What is happening there? So I think it's only fair that we just kind of rewind back the clocks just a little bit, just a couple of days ago. And if anything, just try and get an understanding about what happened on election night. Don't worry, we won't play too much into it because I want to play the videos of the people responding to questions about how they voted for or how they voted and why they voted the way they did on election night.
Of all the confounding results in this past election, perhaps the strangest phenomenon was the surprising number of people who voted for Democrats down ballot and then checked off Donald Trump for president. That was the case in New York's 14th district. A number of voters cast their ballot for both Trump and one of the House's most progressive Democrats, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, better known as AOC. And while the Democratic Party is still reeling from the results, Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is doing something a lot of the D.C. folks aren't doing, which is talking to social media and actually talking to voters to figure out why this happened.
If you voted for Donald Trump and me, or if you voted for Donald Trump and voted Democratic down ballot, I would really love to hear from you.
Without canceling you, right? Remember, a couple of you people voted and said, hey, it sounds like a trap. She's trying to make a list. She's trying to make a list for the political police to knock on the door and kick it down. But when I play the next follow-up video to this, there's going to be a variety of responses in regards to how people voted and why they voted for Trump rather than Kamala, and why they chose instead to also vote for AOC down the ballot. Now, I'm just going to say this. Hey, people have their own opinions, perspectives, and values, and how we vote is our choice. Now, listen, I made it very clear. Hey, vote third party, vote independent. That's how you should do things. That's what should be done all the time, every time, okay? But nonetheless, we have people out right now who are shocked and surprised. Well, does it come as a surprise the fact that Kamala Harris was a weak, terrible candidate that couldn't even answer a single goddamn question?
This is not a place of judgment. I'm not going to put your stuff on blast or anything like that or dunk on it. That's genuinely not the intent here. I actually want to learn from you. I want to hear what you were thinking, and I just want to hear from you.
Joining me now is the aforementioned Democratic Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Okay, AOC, what'd they say?
I mean, there's a lot of different things that we saw. I think there's a lot of people. First of all, it's important to note that Democrats, oftentimes when we lose elections, we think that we lost people to Trump. And that is true in circumstances, but they don't look enough that at the fact.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We got to rewind that just a little bit because you could tell her heart broke in that. Right there. And that is true. Right there. That's the face. That's the face of somebody who's like, and that is true. It's like, my heart. Oh no. What happened to the glasses, AOC? Hold on.
Trump. And that is.
And that is true. It's
true in circumstances, people to Trump.
Oh my goodness. They lost people to Trump. Say it again.
And that.
Right there. That's the face of somebody who's right now has to swallow a lot of pride and arrogance. And I remember warning people that this would happen, that there's a very good chance that Trump could get elected right back into office. So too bad, so sad.
It is true in circumstances, but they don't look enough at the fact that we also lost people to the couch.
Mm-hmm.
We have two people that we're running against. So a lot of people say, this is why I voted for you and Trump. And some people say this is why I didn't vote or didn't vote top of the ticket.
Right. Skip the top of the ticket, which, by the way, there's been a lot of paranoia about the fact that Democrats were able to win statewide in some places while Kamala Harris lost. And I keep trying to tell people there are voters who go in and either just vote the top, Trump voters who will say, I just want Trump and don't care about Republicans, and the reverse, who say, I'm not voting top of the ticket, but I'll vote everybody else.
Right, right. And I think we saw some of that happen as well.
Oh, what happened? By the way, in the thumbnail, I actually had Kamala Harris saying to Mike Tyson, we both lost, and Tyson responding back, yeah, but I banked 20 million. You lost 20 million. You still owe 20 million. Think about it. A campaign, $1 billion, a closed primary in which voters didn't even vote for who they wanted. There was a lack of engagement, lack of enthusiasm. There's many reasons why the Democrats lost. It's because in their arrogance, in their pride, with all their undeserved ego and, I guess, self-righteousness, they thought that they were going to have this. But we'll just play this just for a few more seconds longer, and then we're going to get to the most important aspect of this segment, the people, and how the people in AOC's district are responding.
But when it comes to people who split their ticket, I think a lot of people cited several different things. One is
Tiberius, she's underqualified to serve at McDonald's. McDonald's is a high brand institution. There ain't no way she's ever going to be working at McDonald's. Come on, Tiberius Monk, be nice. That job is way out of her league. Shame on you, Tiberius Monk. Get up and go see the White House counselor right now.
There is universal frustration in this country. Much of it, I actually think, justified, that is raging at a political establishment that centers corporate interests, billionaires, and puts their needs ahead of the needs of working Americans.
Now, all that sounds great. All right. And this is 13 minutes? No, we're not going to sit through this because we're here to talk about, the joy that is coming from AOC's own constituents. So this recently came to my attention. By the way, Emily, Joy Reid's hairline is receding faster than BSDNC's ratings, MSNBC's ratings. Get up, go see the White House counselor. Okay? Shame on you. Be nice. Be nice. Go see the White House counselor. Tell her what you just said.
You like AOC?
Yeah.
Did you vote for her?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about Trump's upcoming presidency, Trump 2?
I voted for him.
Oh, who did you
Oh, that's a surprise. Ooh, what happened?
vote for, if I can ask?
For Trump.
Did you vote for AOC?
Yes, I did.
Explain yourself.
She's Spanish, you
Yeah.
know, so I'm Spanish too. The United States is not ready for a woman person.
Oh my God. If you said that at a liberal rally, they'd cast her out. They'd throw her off the top of the building.
Si fuera mí, que ¿por quién iba a votar? Por Donald Trump.
Oh, really?
Sí.
¿Por qué Donald Trump?
Porque me gusta.
¿Por qué te gusta?
Me gusta como la gente está ahora asustado. Porque los inmigrantes están bastante feos. Lo van a
Pero
desbaratar.
tú eres inmigrante.
Tengo mis papeles.
She's like, hey, listen, I got my papers. These other people don't got their papers. So first of all, you got a guy that said, hey, yeah, I voted for Trump. There you go. Surprise the guy. Second lady said, hey, America's not ready for a lady president, which I have to counter because in a couple of red states, some of the new governors are conservative Republican women. So yes, we here at Heartland's Media do believe that, yes, a woman can become president of the United States, just not Hillary Clinton and just not Kamala Harris, okay? They are not qualified for the job. There are more qualified women who could become president, just not those two, okay? Just not those two. They don't have what it takes because they're losers. Oh, now I got to get up and go see the White House counselor. And then the third one, I got my papers.
Yo vine por la puerta grande.
¿Conoces AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez,
Sí,
la congresswoman?
sí.
¿Qué piensas de
Es
AOC?
buena, me gusta.
Why do you think someone would vote for AOC, who's like as far left as you can get almost?
Because people know more about her, and then that's how it goes. I don't know much about Kamala Harris. To me, Kamala Harris is a puppet.
What have I said? about Kamala Harris. No one can relate to her. She's not authentic. And even when Joe Rogan was fighting to do an interview with her, they wanted that interview to be controlled. They wanted him to fly out to meet her, and they wanted editorial control over the interview. Now, here's the thing. Joe Rogan, as it stands right now, world heavyweight champion in regards to having the most popular online podcast. He's interviewed a wide range of guests, and even earlier this month, I did a video segment talking about AOC, asking people, hey, who do you listen to? She's probably making a list of podcasts to deplatform. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't, whatever. But that was a popular platform. And even in the aftermath of the election, Joe Rogan was explaining, hey, look, I just wanted to know who she is. Do any of you really know what Kamala Harris really stands for? Well, if we look at her policies, she's definitely been very pro-cop. Her handling in regards towards, especially being attorney general, towards prisoners in California, deplorable, horrific, withholding evidence, keeping an innocent man on death row, not to mention laughing about sending families to jail because their kid might miss a day of school. I mean, heaven forbid, we also look at her record as being vice president. What did she do? Her numbers were the lowest in American history. She was the least popular vice president, and somehow out of the vote blue, no matter whose mindset, they felt that she had what it takes to take the reins after Biden dropped out of the race in this election cycle. Nobody knows. Nobody knows what she stands for. She was a puppet, and that's a fair enough assessment. Let's rewind that again.
More about her, and then, that's how it goes. I don't know much about Kamala Harris. To me, Kamala Harris is a puppet.
A puppet of who?
A puppet for the system.
Why do you think Kamala didn't do as well as Biden did in this area, right where we are now?
Because for black people, we already knew her being a prosecutor, how many black children she put in jail.
Oh. See, and everyone in corporate media was saying, no, Kamala's very popular. How many times did she change her accent? How many times did she make a lie after lie? And what do we say here at Hardlands?
All lies will be exposed.
All lies will be exposed. Say that again, good sir. Say that again.
Where we are now.
Because for black people, we already knew her being a prosecutor, how many black children she put in jail. And we knew her past. She told the world she was a black woman, and she's from India. Not that there's no black in India, but she's not. Us.
I like how he covered himself. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that there aren't any black people in India, but, didn't want to be canceled, huh? Did you, sir?
Prosecuting people for a little bit of marijuana. Now you all in for marijuana. We appreciate realness.
The prices is high. Everything is going up. So what you expect?
All she does is giggle and go on these talk shows. She doesn't talk about issues.
Why did you vote for Biden but not for Kamala?
I'm a registered independent. I make up my own mind.
Remember one thing about why people voted for Trump. They want change.
They wanted change. Now, if you've been watching Heartlands Media, I think we've made it very clear how we feel about the two-party system. I mean, it's one big club, said the great St. George Carlin, and you ain't in it. But it explains the mindset of how voters look at the entire election and what's being presented to them. If they don't know who you are, they're not going to vote for you. If they don't like you, well, then they're going to dismiss you. And not to mention, word does get out in regards to how a politician responds to certain demographics and groups of people. And Kamala, especially in regards towards her treatment and her policies towards black communities, word got out quick. And the internet is the town square. Stuff is shared all across social media. And when you have somebody like Kamala Harris, who doesn't even answer the questions, but has to giggle, laugh, and make up lie after lie. Notice she talked a lot about her mom, but didn't say anything about her father. Just throwing it out there so all of you can know. I mean, who is the real Kamala Harris? I don't think even Kamala Harris knows, because she lies, twists and turns, and makes up a whole new story about herself. And that's something that AOC and the Democrats need to come to terms with. Americans, voters, respect realness. Okay, as much as it can, or the perception of realness. That's how voting works. And there's a lot of humble pie that the Democrats are going to have to eat. But are the Democrats learning any lessons at all? Well, absolutely not. They are not learning any lessons. And so many people are stuck in their own reality. And the Democrats are in complete chaos. I mean, they're never, ever, ever going to learn why they lost, or maybe either that. Admit to the fact that they just don't have what it takes anymore. See, you can make these promises. And remember, AOC, people elected you guys into office, the whole squad, to make change. I mean, where were you guys when Jimmy Dore was organizing with so many others to do Force the Vote? And I keep going back to Force the Vote because in 2021, there was a large enough coalition, in theory, 15 congressmen and women, that could have proposed a Medicare for All bill on the House floor at the height of a pandemic. And what did AOC and the squad do? I'm looking at you, Jamal Bowman. Looking at you, Cory Booker. Looking at you two in particular, because you're not in office anymore. When people asked you to fight for us, you bent the knee to Mama Bear Nancy Pelosi. And the great reveal happened. We realized that the quote-unquote squad, the Justice Democrats, brand new Congress, our revolution, DSA, were not going to fight for us. And we remembered. And after the 2022 midterm election cycle, so many people were disgusted with the Democrats, especially since Roe v. Wade died under Biden. The Democrats lost their coalition. And day after day in this year of the 2024 election cycle, Biden couldn't improve his numbers. Kamala, being his replacement, couldn't improve the numbers. All these wars, all of this mismanagement of our economy, all of this corruption happening under the Biden-Harris administration, of course people are going to get sick and tired of it. So many lies from the Democrats. And so the voters made the decision who they wanted to vote for president. It's just a shame, though, that many of the constituents reelected AOC. I think many of these squad members need to learn a lesson in humility by actually taking an L. Because I don't see AOC reforming or challenging Hakeem Jeffries, because Hakeem Jeffries has just been made the new leader of the House Democrats. So there he is again. You think AOC is going to challenge him? You think Bernie Sanders is going to challenge any of these people? No, they're not. They're good at following orders. This is an extinction level event, because in 2026, I'm so sorry to tell this to you guys, but I'm going to make a prediction here. And if I'm wrong about it, my goodness, are we going to dodge a mind bullet headache? They're going to be talking about impeaching Trump. That's the one thing those Democrats are going to be talking about. Vote for Democrats so we can control the House and Senate so we can impeach Trump. I'm willing to bet AOC is going to make that her front issue, number one issue. That's what all the Democrats are going to do, because they haven't learned their lesson. But voters are their own people. And the one thing people don't like to do is be shamed or yelled at or have finger wagging at. See, the cancel culture and the whole wave of you better fall in line is breaking. So maybe AOC, if you want to understand people and perspectives and points of view, because you asked about being on different, listening to different podcasts and perspectives. One of them is going to be the Joe Rogan show, or the Jimmy Dore show, or Hard Lens Media, or Do Dissidents, or RBN, or INN, or anyone else. Why don't you cross the Rubicon and actually come onto these shows and talk to us? Because there's a lot of things people want to say to the Democrats, and it won't be a safe space like BSD and C. If you want realness, cross the Rubicon.